Get it, say amen. Amen. All right. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17 through verse 19. Read for me, sugar.
For the time is come
that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinners appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful Creator. Amen.
All right, thank you, Sister Victory, for the reading of the word. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and sinner appear? Verse 19 says, wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God. Let everyone say, according to the will of God. Let everyone that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful Creator. Look over at your neighbor and tell them, trust God and continue to do good. Or better still, trust God and continue to do right. Trust God and continue to do right. Because the time of accountability is fastly approaching. So we can't afford to get slack. Can't afford to get laxed in our duty, because the time of accountability is fastly approaching. We are in a day Peter and them thought he was going to show up in their lifetime. That's why he was exhorting the saints of that day, to be diligent, be fervent in your doing and in your walk, because he could bust the clouds any minute.
All right.
But here we are, hundreds of years later, but the urgency is still there. Most of us, have heard, from kids, I don't care how old you are, that we're living in the last days. And I, for a long time, I didn't understand that, but now I do. And I say now, I don't mean just this year or just this month, but I've come to understand that the time between Christ's first and second coming is the last day. See, in that time, sometimes we like to look at it and say, well, the Bible said this was going to happen, and that's going to happen before he comes. Well, but he didn't say what was going to happen before you go to see him. See, a lot of times, well, the Bible said the end wouldn't come, except this or that will happen. Well, that's true. But now, he didn't say what would happen before you go. See? And so we have to live every day like that's the last day. You know, I heard a evangelist used to come to the church all the time at the church where I came from, and he'd always began every time he come. He said, "It's good to see you all again, and I want to say this to you. If I don't say nothing else, today is the first day of the rest of your life." It took it a while to soak in, but after a while the light came on. See, but it is. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. See, and so Peter and them, and that Peter said, he said, I think it's only right for me, as long as I'm in this tabernacle, to stir up your pure mind. See, because God had done showed me that sooner or later I'm going to have to pull this tabernacle off. But I want to be guilty of stirring you up. To after I'm gone, you still have things in remembrance. Come on, see? And so he's going on, but listen, the urgency is still there. And listen, you will have to agree with me that there's never been a time in our lives that we needed stirring like we do now. Come on, see? Because we've come, see, when you get stirred up like you ought to be, then the world becomes secondary. See, things of this life become secondary. See, but if you allow yourself to get laxed and get to almost to the state of lukewarm, then the things of the world becomes. Come on. And the scripture says, I'd rather have you hot or cold. See? But because you're lukewarm, you know, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. When you're lukewarm, you don't ever know what a lukewarm person going to do. See? They with you today, and, you know, they're testifying loud today, and then something other come along, and here, you know, they're all down and discouraged and all of that. See, so you either need to he said, be one or the other. See, but don't be in that unstable. See? And so what he's saying, Pastor, I'm saying that if it ever was a time that we need to be firm in what we believe and in whom we believe, it ought to be now. Now, let me give you for instance. Every time you can look believers now, you can't hardly talk to a Christian now unless they bring up the thing that's going on in the White House. You know, listen, you need to forget about what's going on in the White House. And get to think about what's going on in God's house. And we got and then the Bible tells us this. If you ain't satisfied with what's going on in the White House, listen, you got a weapon. Pray for those that are in authority. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, listen, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their way, then will I hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin, and then I will heal their land. See? Not the land, I will heal their land. See? So I don't, you know, when I run into somebody like that, then that ends the conversation quick. Because first of all, I ain't finna feed into that, and then I'm gonna conveniently have somewhere to go. See, because I don't need to, because I don't need to hear you complaining about, you know, nothing about the administration and all that kind of stuff. Because listen, I told an individual just yesterday, I said, well, he didn't exactly accidentally get in the White House. See, come on. See? I said, God knows what it takes to get us back on our knees. I said, read your Bible. You find out every time God's people strayed too far away, God always brought somebody in. See, so look at it this way. See, he's there to help me to get back where I need to be. If you can't give him no more credit than that. See, plus the fact that, listen, everybody was of that party that voted for him. See, come on. See? So while you're complaining, but you can't do no good, you can pray and things will get right. So somebody say, well, how did you get off on that? Things like that will pull you down, or weigh your spirit down to where you can't be what you ought to be for the Lord. See, when you ought to be joyous, here you sad about something. That groaning and complaining ain't gonna do nothing about it.
That's right.
See? You won't do anything about it.
That's it.
Come on. That'll work. See? Cause see, when you hit these, then you talk to somebody that's in control. Come on, see? Somebody that's above wherever your problem is. Oh, come on here. See? So Peter said here today, he says,
For the time is come.
for the time is come.
That judgment must begin.
For the
at the house of
time
God.
is come. For the time is come. See? It's here. See? Right now. It's here. Isn't it amazing how this word, you know, no matter how long ago it was written, how relevant it talks. You know. For the time is come. It sound like Peter just penned that. Come on, see? See? The time has come that judgment
must begin
at
the house of God.
At the house of God. See? Now, you say, well, why in the world? Now you hear a whole lot about God gonna judge the world. But Peter says it's going to begin where?
At the house of God.
Come on. See, now. The reason why it's going to begin at the house of God is because we're the ones that have had access. See, to the teaching. We've had access to the scripture. We've had access to hearing and reading and have the Spirit of God in us. So listen, it stands to reason that we ought to be first.
Right.
See? I ain't going to spend much time out there because I know where they are. But in here, I want to make sure that I get everybody in there, you know, and I know I got some goat among the sheep. So I don't want to mess around there and get a sheep in a goat place. So I'm going to have to take time to separate them here, but out there ain't nothing but goats. So all I got to do is start herding them in. Oh, come on here. See? In here, I got wheat and I got tare. So I don't want to mess around there and pull up some tare to pull up some wheat trying to get the tare. But I know when I get out there, ain't nothing but tare. So we can just wipe all of that out. Oh, come on, help me here. Come on, see. So there's a scripture that says a fellow that don't know what he's supposed to know, he gonna be whipped with few stripes.
Many stripes.
But the fellow that knows gonna be whipped with many stripes. But now listen, just one stripe is enough to do you in. See? That one stripe is enough to take you to hell. See? They're like a guy we used to gamble with us, you know, and his wife would be at about going to church. And he called me treetop tall. You know, we'd be gambling on Sunday morning. He said, treetop, I don't mind want me to go to church, get ready for no church, but I don't want to go to church because the Bible says if you go and this and the word, you're going to be whooped with many stripes, and I don't want to be whooped with many stripes. I didn't even know that was in the Bible. Until after I got saved, one day in Sunday school or something or other, Dad was, I said, I won't call the guy's name. I said, man, he knew that, see. So he said he didn't want to go to church because he didn't want to be whooped with many stripes. But listen, if you would get in line to get whooped with one stripe, you in trouble. Okay, come on. Now, here's the analogy behind that. You might not know what the fellow that was sitting in the house of God knew, but listen, I died for you anyhow. You had a chance to know. So you going on in anyhow because you had a chance to know. Now the fellow that's sitting in the house of God and listening to the word of God, it's going to be bad for him because he got a chance to hear it and didn't do it. So now, you know, he's in torment. And listen, he got nobody to blame but himself. So Peter said, the time is coming, judgment
must begin
at the house of God. See? You set up in the church and get preoccupied with something else while church is going on, while the word is going on. And some people that don't listen and pay attention until certain folk is up. And some folk ain't gonna pay attention until the pastor's up. But anytime anybody is up and talking about from this word, you need to pay attention. There's a scripture in this Bible that says, keep thy foot when I go into the house of God and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. See, come on. See, if they're talking from this ain't pastor didn't write this. That anointed evangelist didn't write this. The anointed missionary didn't write this. You know, that dynamic Sunday school teacher didn't write this. So whoever's up and talking about this, we need to listen. You might notice me. I don't care who up. They're going to have my undivided attention. See? And if I'm sitting close to somebody and they keep messing, I just get up and move over a little bit. Because I don't want to miss nothing. See? And just in a moment, you lean over to whisper to somebody, you can miss something that you don't need to help you. And see, and listen, everybody can tell you something. I tell you, we were blessed here on Wednesday night. And I tell you, Sister Carolyn, she worked with that blood thing. And listen, so much so you felt that you left out your feeling red. See? I'm telling you. I said, Lord, I know I asked her to speak, but I wish I could just get the mic for just. Look, I was about as stirred up as I was when them guys got through there Saturday night. And then they asked me that I want to say something. No, you only give me that mic. Because listen, You give me that mic now, and this thing ain't gonna be, it might not be over for another hour. Cause they had really stirred me up. So the best thing I can do is sit down and hold my peace if we want to get out of here at a good time. See? So I'm saying that, listen, anybody can tell you something. If they talking from this, listen. See? And you can learn something. You can learn a lot of things to say, and then you can learn a lot of things not to say. Come on. But if you're not listening, you ain't gonna learn either one. So it says,
for the time is come.
For the time is come.
Judgment must begin at the house of God.
All right.
And if it first began at us.
And if it first began, then you notice what he said, not with us.
At us.
If it began at us.
What shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
What shall, if it first began at us, then what?
What shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
My Lord. If it began with us, how about the folk that's not even trying to live this thing? They're really in trouble. But we all got one common denominator. He died for us all. No, I made this statement. I don't remember where I was, because you got some folks, they got people, they don't particularly hate them, but they just can't stand it. They just, and so during my discourse, I said, now, there are some folk that got certain folk that they don't like, they don't really hate them. I said, now, there are some folk that you allowed to hate. Man, oh, come on now. I said, find anybody that Jesus didn't die for. You can hate them. Yeah, see, if you find me one person that he didn't die for, you can hate all you want to. See, come on, see, and look, it kind of took the wind out of these people's sails because you sure that all shucks. I thought he's finna get me out. See, come on, see, that's right. See, because listen, he died for how many bodies? Everybody. So when he tells us to love how many bodies? Everybody. He got a right to say it because I loved him unto death. I ain't asking you to die for him. I'm just asking you to love him, and I ain't even asking you to love him with your love. Look at that. I'm going to give you the love to love him with. I said, if you don't believe it, read Galatians 5 and 22 and look at the first word there. See? And it says, but the fruit of the Spirit, not the person, the fruit of the Spirit. What Spirit? The Spirit of God. The Spirit that's in you. The fruit of the Spirit is hate. Love. All right then, see? So you ain't go no further than that. To know that you got what it takes to love how many bodies? Yeah. Good. That's good. That's right. See, now, this is why judgment is going to begin at the house of God. Because we've got the capacity to do what thus said the Lord. And if we don't do it, then, listen, we ought to be the first ones to be judged. See? And judgment means when you come to find out whether a fellow's done what he's supposed to do or not. So, before I go to the world, I need to find out how many of them sitting in the church every Sunday and every Wednesday and every time the church door open, has really adhered to this word, or whether they just have a form of godliness. See, I want to find out, I need to find out first how many of them that was really there and got something out of the service, that heard something that helped them to be better. Not nothing to do with the messenger. It's the message that you ought to be concerned with. Come on. See? Come on. See, everybody don't have this thing the same.
That's right. That's right.
But listen, the message is the same. See, some folk can tell you love your enemy, and man, they can it's so eloquent in speech until they can really dress it up and really dramatize it, see. And then some folk, they just flat with it. They love your enemy. But now, the outcome is the same. Jeremiah 17:10. Or 17:9-10.
The heart is deceitful
The heart is deceitful
above all things.
above all
things. And
above
desperately,
all things. You can't trust the heart.
and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
See? That's why David asked the question in Psalm 51. He asked God to do what? Create in me what? And renew in me a what? A right spirit. Cause the one I got now done messed me up. So I need you to fix me another. Oh, glory to God. See, the heart is deceitful
Above all things, and desperately wicked. Who
wicked.
can know it?
Who can know it? See? But what Jeremiah says in verse 10.
I, the Lord, search the heart.
I, the Lord, search the heart. I know it.
I try the reins.
I, the Lord, search the heart. See, come on. See, I'm the one that made it.
I try the reins.
And listen, everybody else might have 20/20 vision. But I got supernatural vision. I can see things that you can't see with a natural eye. See, come on, see, you might be smiling on your face, but in your heart, see what's coming out of your heart. See, and you might have I love you on your face, but I can't stand you in your heart. See, so I ain't looking at your face. I'm looking at what? That's the thing. That's where you know some folk, they can look at your straight face and all that, and might even kind of rock like they enjoy. And their heart just saying, I wish he heard me say that. Well, God ain't looking at your rock. He's looking at your heart. Go on, see. And then you say something, and then, amen, pastor. And then their heart saying, huh. You see, God didn't hear the amen. He heard the, huh. Preach, Pastor Pete.
I, the Lord, search the heart. I tried the reins. Even to give every man according to his ways.
See, I tried the reins. I know just how far you'll go. See, I searched the heart. I know what's in there. And listen, I tried the reins. I know just how far to let you go. And I know just how far you will go. See, come on, see, depending on the situation, I already know how far you'll go. You get there, but I'm already there waiting on you. You get there, but I've already been there and decided what the punishment is going to be. other blessing, whichever one it is. Like I said over at Bishop Dodd, you know, when we talked about, he said, if your heart condemn you, God is greater than your heart and knows all things. See, God knows, Brother Hunter, he knows what you can do. And then he knows what you did do. And what you did do and what you could have done don't match up. And guess which one God gonna judge you about? Somebody, oh, now Pastor, come on. See, if you don't believe me, ask Ananias and Sapphira. See, Ananias and Sapphira, you know, to the folk looking on, they had done what they could do. But the Holy Ghost showed Peter they didn't do what they should have done. See? And so God didn't condemn them for what they did do. He condemned them for what they should have done and didn't do. See? You got to be careful about this thing. And just like Peter said here, you know, now the judgment is beginning at the house. It sounds like he just wrote it today. Everything else in there is just as relevant. If God saw Ananias and Sapphira, you know he can see us. Come on. See? And listen, so pretending to be and being is two different things. And listen, except God show us, we can't tell the difference. But God is the one that's going to judge. He's the one. And God has got too many people that could do and won't do. See, God got too many people doing something instead of doing what they should do. That's why judgment is going to begin. Like my brother, my baby brother Eric, you know, his daddy or my mom would give him money, you know, to put in church, you know, and so he said, now he'd be separated. He said, now I'm gonna put this in Sunday school, and then I'm gonna put this in church, and then I'm this mine here. Now you know which one was the biggest. Then when he get back home and go to the corner store, he had money, he didn't have to ask for nothing. So my mom wanna know, well, Eric, where'd you get money from? I still had money. Well, you must have didn't put nothing in church. Yeah, I did. You know, I put a quarter in Sunday school and I put 50 cents in church. Well, didn't Lord give you $5? Oh. Now that's comical. But there's a whole lot of folks. See, gonna leave and go back home with the biggest end of the pie. See? Come on. See? So after that, when my mother would give him something, then she'd shake her finger in his face. She said, "You better not come back here." Come on. I don't want to kill myself.
I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
See, read that again.
I, the Lord, search.
I, the Lord God, searches the heart.
I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways.
And the reason why I'm doing it so I can make sure everybody get what they are due. So I search the heart and try the reins,
even to give every man according to his ways.
According to what?
ways, and according to the fruit of his
and
doings.
according to the fruits of his doing. See? That's why I want to make sure that everybody get that just due. See? I want to make sure that I don't overpay you, but I want to make sure I don't underpay you either. See? Now, sometimes we'll look at other folk, and not just monetarily, but sometimes we look at other folk in church attendance and say, well, I might not be there every time I should, but at least I'm more faithful in such and such. They, like I said over at Philly, they're not the standard.
That's right. That's right.
See? I've been pastoring 30 years. And besides the fact that the time I was in the hospital or whatever, I probably haven't missed, I won't just be generous and say 100 services out of the 30 years. But now, I'm not the standard.
That's right.
See? God had missed not one service. See? So you can't, I can't, don't compare yourself with me. Because even though I might not miss them on the 100 services in 30 years, but listen, but I'm not the standard. See, you got to judge yourself out of a fellow that hadn't missed not one service. And if you want to get technical, you don't even have to make God the standard. You test yourself out of the devil. The devil had missed a service since the church been in existence. Lord, did you give me this? Yes, you did. Yeah, come on. See? So he said, our judges every heart and try the reins,
even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
Of his own doing. All right. Now let's get back to our scripture. Let's hurry on.
For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly?
The righteous scarcely be saved, just barely slide in. See? The righteous scarcely. That means just barely getting in before the door closed. Scared. The righteous. Now, if the righteous have to cut it that close, then he asks, where shall the sinner and the ungodly appear? If the righteous just barely made it in. See? So what that tell me? We ain't got no time to waste. We ain't got no time to fool around. We ain't got no wiggle room. See? He's saying doing all you can do, you just gonna scarcely. I didn't say it. It's in your Bible.
Yes, sir, it
See?
is.
See? Scarcely, baby. Now that's cutting it close.
Real close.
And look, now, that's, they got this thing about split halves. That's, when you cut. Now look, that's too close to consider the difference between eternity with God and eternity in hell. That's too close. So if I'm just going to scarcely make it, just do get in. That means I ain't got no time to slack around, Brooks. I ain't got no time to fool around. And listen, ain't got no time to be watching nobody else. Listen, the Bible declares this as a race. Listen, I gotta be steady stroke. Come on. See, I can't afford to I might get tired, but I can't afford to quit. Now if I'm going to just scarcely cross the finish line. We got to, and so we can't let nothing happen. Come on, some people.
Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God.
Now that's the thing that gets us is when we're going through. We tend to slow down. We tend to not be as faithful as we should be. We tend to not be as fervent in what we're doing. And listen, when we're going through, our prayer is directed more at what we're encountering instead of what we need to accomplish. See? And you can't afford to let whatever you're going through capture more attention than the thing that you're trying to accomplish. You say, well, what are you trying to accomplish? Paul said, I'm pressing toward the mark. Now listen, if the mark is up here, and then your problem is, let me have that, sister. And if the mark is here, and your problem is here, now guess what? You ain't got time to be looking down at the problem. You got to keep your eyes. And if all your prayers is that, Lord, I wonder, do you see what I'm going through? Lord, I need you to come on and see about me. Lord, I need you. And listen, ain't nothing going up here. Everything is. See? You got to keep you got to stay focused. Okay. How many times you see these people running a marathon? How many times you ever seen them running and feet might be hurt and all that? But listen, one lady, she couldn't make it run. She crawled across the finish line. See? Feet, all that so hurt so bad she couldn't walk, so she crawled across it. I'm determined to make it. And that's the way I am. I might not finish this thing standing up, but I'm going to finish it. Hey, glory to God. I might not go in shouting, but I'm going in. I might not go in walking without some scars and without a limp, but listen, whether limping or not, I'm going in. Look at what your neighbor tell him, listen, I'm going in. I'm going to do like the preacher. This preacher he say when he get there, and he talk about that scab that make it in, he say, if his coattail, that's right, they get caught in the gate, say it's going to slide out of it. Listen, Saint, this is serious business. This is serious business. Now, look what it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. Give me 10 more minutes.
Yet not,
God minutes though. Yeah.
Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world,
all right,
or with the covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters.
All right.
For then must ye needs go out of the world.
Start at verse 9. 2 Corinthians. Yeah. Come on.
That's it. I got it.
All right. What does it say?
For we must all appear. Before the judgment.
Before the judgment. How many of us? All of us must appear before the judgment seat of what? Christ. Of Christ.
that everyone may
That
receive
every one of us gonna receive what?
the things
The things
done in his body,
done in his body,
according to that he has
according to
done,
that which he has done,
whether it be
whether it be
good
good
or bad.
or bad. But every one of us. That's why I tell y'all, I'm trying to teach you and encourage you now, because when we stand before him, ain't no need a person say, I'm with him. That's my pastor. I'm with. No, you ain't with me.
That's good.
We were together here at Glad Tidings, but now it's every man for himself and God for us all. Come on here. See, because it's gonna be a big enough job for me to get and give and count of myself. I don't need you having me. I'm with him. But what about them? Look. They ain't ask them. They can speak for themselves.
That's it.
I'm gonna be standing there listening on pins until I hear. Well done. Woo, glory to God. See, ain't finna shout, ain't finna say nothing. I'll be almost holding my breath until I hear him say. Oh, but when he say well done, you better give me some elbow room. Hey, glory to God. See. Because listen, I'm finna act up. Why? Because I heard that magic word. Come on, see? I heard the word. I've been working for it and laboring for it, preaching for it, being lied on it. All that, that's the word I've been waiting on. Well done. So now, if you think I got happy down there, you better back up now. Cause you see, and by that time, I'm gonna have that other body. So I'm gonna be able to cut some steps you ain't seen before. Oh, come on, Sister Peach. Let's get over here.
Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their soul.
Wherefore let them suffer according to the will of God.
Commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing.
Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God. You mean to tell me it's the will of God that I suffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it plain, Pastor.
It's a type of discipline.
That's right.
It causes you to trim off some things. It causes you to lay aside some things. It causes you to stir up. You ever been going through and praying, and then listen, sometimes when the Lord bring you out, then you remember I never did get to what I was. Because every time I got down there and got off into the prayer, I wind up praising him and all of that. So I never did really get into what I. Oh, glory to God. See, I got down there to talk to him about a certain thing, but listen, his motive was if I just get him down there. All I want to do is get him down there. See, if I get him down there, listen, I'll take it from there. I'll let the Holy Ghost take it from there. See? Come on. And then you done got down there and listen. And then when you get up, and then you got up, say, you know what, I never did. But then when you realize, he done worked that out. That whatever you gonna pray about. Oh, come on, talk to me here. I see I got some folk that's been there. Oh, glory to God. Don't have to try to remember what I was going to talk to him about. I was having such a good time once he got me where he wanted. But if he hadn't set the trial, I might have got on my knees, but I wouldn't have stayed in here. See, I might have got on my knees, but see, listen, there's certain things that you encounter, you get on your knees, but you actually lower than your knees. See, I'm on my knees, but spiritually, I'm below where I am. See, here I am. I'm here. But see, spiritually, I'm down. See, I'm here. You can see me here. But spiritually, see, and that's where the good stuff is. Ah, glory to God. That's when you really get down to business. When you get down to where you're not visible. You done got out of yourself. See, you passed yourself then. Oh, look, and see what you gonna pray about was up here. But then you left out up here, and then you way down here, and a whole new something took over. Oh, somebody ought to shout glory here. Come on and shout glory here.
Hallelujah. Thank you.
That's why the Bible said we ought to pray with the spirit, but we ought to also pray with an understanding. Come on, see, he know how to get you started. Kind of like sending a kid to school. He starts off in pre-K. Get him started. See, God knows. See, when the problem comes, God knows good and well. He know how to get you started.
Yeah.
But see, if I can get them on their knees, we ain't gonna even talk about that. If they got a problem and they're trying to find an answer in the Word, say it's a financial problem, they're trying to find all the blessing scriptures. Well, that is, but once I get them to focus it on the Word, we ain't gonna even worry about the blessing scripture. You're looking for a blessing scripture, and all you suddenly say, I never. You know what? I heard somebody quote that scripture. I used to hear mama do all that. You still broke, but you done discovered something. See, looking for some silver and then found a nugget. And you so happy about the nugget that you done forgot about whatever else. Oh, come on, yeah. But God sent the silver need so he could get you to the nugget. Oh, God. Anybody ever found your scriptural knowledge now is much better than it was because you were searching for one thing when you stumble up on something else. Then sometime things you heard when you first got saved, you had forgot about it. And on the way searching for something else, then you all of a sudden you stumble up on that scripture again, and then all of a sudden the tape started going off in your mind, and you remember, just exactly what was going on when you heard that scripture, when you found, and see, then you get so caught up in that that you forgot. Preach, Pastor Peter.
Yes, Lord. Start preaching.
But it says,
wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God,
to the will of God,
commit the keeping for their souls to him in well-doing.
All right.
As unto a faithful creator.
He's not gonna leave you. He's not gonna leave you. He's aware of whatever you're saying. Now, let's tie that to Job 17 and 9 and 17 7 through 9, and then we're gonna close it up.
My eye also is dim by reason of sorrow.
Now, tell you what, read them both together, Sister Peter. Read 1 Peter 19, and then go on over to Job
Wherefore, let them that suffer
Let them that
according to the
suffer
will of
according
God
to the will of God
commit the keeping of their souls
commit the keeping
to Him
of their
in
soul-
well doing.
commit the keeping of their souls unto Him.
To Him in well doing, as
And
unto a
what?
faithful
Keep the commitment
creator.
of the soul in what?
In well doing,
Now listen. Now, up above that, he says you're suffering. See? But it's according to the will of God. So I'm not gonna let my suffering interfere with my fellowship with God. See? So I'm gonna commit what?
the keeping of
The
their
keeping of
souls
my
to Him in well
the
doing,
keeping of my soul
to Him
to Him
in well
in
doing,
well doing. I want to make sure that's preserved. See, all right.
as unto a faithful
And
creator.
to a faith. See, I know I can give it to Him. I commit Him. I trust Him to make sure it's safe, God. You know, it's like Wells Fargo. See, you put your money in there because you believe that Wells Fargo is reliable. See, if you feel like they ain't got a good track record, you're not gonna put your little change in there. See, come on. If you hear talk of Wells Fargo and win and solve, and then you go, let me find a bank that's got a good track record, good sound financial base. That's where I want to put. I want to commit my. So he said, I'm gonna commit my soul to God because I know He's able to keep it.
Amen.
Come on.
My eye also is dim.
See, now listen, I'm going through, and the thing is really weighing on me. I'm going through. My eyes are dim. I've been crying, and look like it ain't no relief in sight.
All right.
See, come on.
By reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astounded at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself
The upright shall do
against the
what?
hypocrite
Be astonished.
at this.
How in the world can he hold on?
All of that.
The upright. Oh, I'm telling you, he must have done something. See, he must have done something. Cause listen, I'm living for God, and listen, that ain't happening to me. So he must have done something. Y'all know the story, you know. See, but he said the upright will be astonished
At this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on.
The
his way.
righteous shall what?
Hold on.
Hold
his way.
on to what?
His way.
His way.
And he that had clean hands.
The righteous shall he might be going through. But I'm gonna hold on. I ain't gonna just live holy when things are going well. But when things are going bad, I'm gonna still live holy. You know, well that song says, listen, after all been through, I still got a praise down on. I ain't gonna just bless him when things are going well. But I'm gonna bless him because listen, what I got coming out of me ain't got nothing to do with what I'm going through. Hallelujah. I might be crying, but I'm gonna still have a praise. My heart might be heavy, but listen, that ain't got nothing to do with my praise.
No.
Come on, see, I might not be able to jump as high as I used to, but listen, I do something. Come on here, see, come on. See, come on. I might not be able to clap as hard as I used to, but listen, he said praise him in a hand clap. He didn't say how fast, how slow. But he said praise him in a. See, so until I can speed up. See, I want to let it know that, listen, I'm in obedience. I might not can do it as fast as I used to, but listen, I'm still obeying. Praise him in a hand clap. The righteous shall hold
on his way.
on his way.
And he that hath clean hands
And he that have clean
shall be
hands.
stronger and stronger.
Now, I'm closing. When you exercise, then after you're going, you might be had a sickness or something other, and then they give you these exercises to do. Like with my leg, the muscles were damaged in there. See, and that's why they were doubting whether I'd ever walk again. See, because the muscles were damaged so bad, and then I wouldn't let them put that filter in my heart to catch the blood clot that come. So they couldn't they couldn't stop the blood thinner because I might get a blood clot. And I mean, yeah, because I might get a blood clot, and then I wouldn't let them put the filter in there. So they said the blood ain't gonna clot, you know, to where it'll start to heal up because that blood thinner's in there. So it just kept bleeding. And I told you how it just kept coming up my leg. They said, now if it get to your abdomen, it's gonna kill you. And every day you come and measure it, you know, and it'd be moved up a little bit, and it kept, but if you don't permit us to put that filth in there, we can't take you off the blood thinner. So the blood is not gonna clot to where you can start to heal in your muscles. But see, I knew somebody that put the blood in there. And that's the fella that's the fella I was about to see. He was more stronger than the blood thinner.
Yes, he is.
So he could heal those muscles in spite of the blood thinner. And then one day the guy come and he measured it that morning, he checked it, he marked it off. He take a pen and mark off where it was on my thigh. We come out that evening and checked it about 4 o'clock. He said, it doesn't stop. When he come back the next morning, he said, it's going down just a little bit. And listen, every time it would go down a little bit and my face was next thing I know, they would get me up out the bed. But my muscle was damaged so bad that I didn't have no control over my legs. See, the therapist told me, said, Miss Peach, you say you're going to force that leg back and make it go straight. Yeah. And man, every time I do that, look like that thing was just. But listen, even when I was laying down, she gave me some exercises to do. I still do them. Say, push your feet all the way forward and count to 10, and then hold it, and then count to 10, and then pull all the way back. Now, pushing forward wasn't so bad, but when I pull them back, the enemy said, "Oh, you're gonna start the muscles of bleeding again." But I just kept doing it.
Yes.
And well, and this leg here feel better than this one. And both of them feel pretty good. I'm trying to show you how it don't make no difference what the situation is.
Yeah.
You got to hold on to what you believe. You can't look at the condition. You got to look at the fellow that can control the condition. And my doctor was what was her wrong? Yeah, he said, Mr. Petrie, he said, you're going to be all right. The Lord is just trying you with the leg. But you're going to be fine because your faith is strong. See? And I believe with you. If you don't want the filter, I'm not going to insist on you get the filter. See? I'm going to believe God with you. On my 66th birthday, I left the hospital and they've both been sending a therapist out to the house. When I got there, we living in a townhouse. And I started going up and down them stairs, on my tiptoes.
work it out.
Come on, see. And the therapist didn't show up for 2 days later. When he showed up, come knock on the door, I went to the door. He said, I'm looking for Mr. Floyd Petrie. I said, I'm here. And he looked at me and he said, well, I'm the therapist, but I was supposed to come and he said, walk back that way. I said, he said, oh, you don't need me. I'll tell you, he'll do it. What you got to do, you got to hold on to your way. The righteous hold on to his way. He don't give up because conditions is not conducive to what he thinks they ought to be. In spite of. So my advice to you is, what the subject say? Trust God and continue to do right. Clap your hands and say that. Father, I thank you today for this word. I pray that you bless God and keep us all encouraged. And maybe those of us that are going through, God, but let this lesson be